Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I am reporting the news. The news is that you are in your overgiving energy as a woman, and therefore you are not receiving as much as you would like. Whether it is receiving princess treatment, receiving more recognition, admiration, respect, whatever it is that you desire, you just feel like you're not receiving it because you're always giving, you're always doing. So this is blocking your magnetism and your attraction as a woman, and that is not what we want. So, number one, you are always the initiator. Whether in relationships, friendships, or at work, you're constantly reaching out, planning, fixing, which leaves no room for others to step up. So what this looks like very commonly, a very common example that a lot of women can relate to is, let's say you're dating, you're seeing someone new, and you don't hear from them. It's been a day, it's been 2 days, or in some cases it could be just a few hours, and so you reach out. Just wanted to make sure, just wanted to check that we're still on for this weekend, that sort of thing. And you find that you are the one sending the first text. You sometimes might even be sending double texts, and you're always the one reaching out. I miss you. Hey, thinking of you. We've all done it. So there's no shame in the practice game. But if you're living in this energy, it can actually be really unpleasant. And so if you're doing this in your dating life, you might find that it shows up in your other relationships. You're always the one reaching out to your friends, planning everything, organizing. Sure, I'll get it taken care of. I'll schedule it. I'll make the reservation. I'll send you the details. That's the role that you've taken on. And the important thing here is that when you occupy that role, you don't leave any room for the person to reach out to you. That's the important thing. There's no space for the person to come to you because you are always going to them. Okay, so that's sign number one. Sign number two, you struggle to say no. You feel guilty setting boundaries, so you take on extra responsibilities. No. Emotional labor or commitments that drain your energy. So now your mouth is writing a check that you can't cash because you're saying yes to all of these extra commitments, all of these extra responsibilities that you don't have the time and energy for. So you need to do some soul searching and figure out if that's coming from people pleasing, if it's coming from, a lack of self-worth. Where is that coming from? But the important thing is we want to resolve it so that you're comfortable saying no and you can protect your time and energy so that you can show up in your best energy. That's the main point here. So we're just kind of going over the signs, but in my classes, in my programs, in my private coaching, the main goal is for you to embody an energy that is confident, radiant, magnetic, and at ease. And that is not going to happen when you are a yes woman to everyone in your life, running around trying to keep up with all the commitments and all the things that you said yes to, and there's no time left for you. So if you have a hard time saying no, you might find that you are overgiving, overdoing things, like literally doing things, helping people clean up, helping to babysit, helping to cook, like you're volunteering to cook for the company meeting or whatever. Like you just find yourself saying yes and volunteering for things that are draining you. That is something we need to change. Number 3. You over-explain yourself. You find yourself justifying your needs, feelings, or boundaries as if you need permission to take up space or prioritize yourself. So this I see a lot. What this looks like is, hey, can you, babysit for us this weekend? No, I told my friend that I would help her with something, and last time I wasn't able to, so I'd really like to make sure that I can be there for her. And you go into this long explanation about why you're not able to say yes. So number 2 and number 3 go together. You have a hard time feeling like you're allowed to take up space and prioritize yourself. And that makes you over-explain. Anytime somebody asks you a question, are you available Tuesday? Instead of just saying, no, I actually have time on Thursday, you go into this long explanation and give people your entire schedule, right? And even feel guilty if you have like an hour or two within that schedule that's free, because then you're thinking, oh, should I tell them I'm free Tuesday at 5 p.m. when I'm gonna take that break to actually, get up, stretch a little bit, have a real meal, maybe watch some TV, maybe wind down before I continue work for the rest of the evening or go to a class or something like that. Like, you have a really hard time just saying, no, I'm not available on Tuesday. Are you available Thursday? You have to go into detail. You have to justify, you have to explain. And even as you're doing it, you feel a little bit guilty. And so over-explaining ourselves, again, it goes back to self-worth. Self-worth is at the core because we feel like we're not allowed to have our own time and we're not allowed to prioritize ourselves. But ladies, when you don't prioritize yourself, no one else will. You're expecting somebody who has their own life and their own priorities to give you permission and treat you better than how you're treating yourself. And that is just not how it works. Okay? So when we go into over-explaining, we diminish our value, we undermine ourselves, and we are no longer embodying that feminine soft power that makes us magnetic. So this is something I help my clients with a lot. We do some role playing. Actually, I was just doing that with one of my private clients today. It was a lot of fun. We practice giving responses that empower us instead of entangle us into more obligations, right? Okay, number 4, you feel resentful and unappreciated. This is what happens when you don't get a handle on the overgiving and being in your masculine energy of doing and having to prove yourself as a woman. You end up feeling resentful and unappreciated. Deep down, you're frustrated that others don't notice or reciprocate your efforts, but you stay quiet because you don't want to rock the boat. Me personally, I love rocking the boat. Shout out to Aaliyah. But you might find that you're afraid to do so. You're afraid to do so, so you just keep it under the surface. And you have this resentment building up inside of you, which is a very negative energy. It's a very unproductive energy and emotion to be stuck in. So we want to be able to release that because resentment is heavy. And so you kind of have this icky story going on inside of you that creates a dark cloud. And unfortunately, all that's going to do is repel. It's going to repel everyone around you, and It's never going to convince them that they should finally give you that recognition and reciprocity that you deserve. The shift has to come from within you. So if you're feeling resentful and unappreciated, that is a red flag within you that you need to get out of your overgiving energy. And I actually have a masterclass, a free one, on Wednesday, January 15th. It's called Stop Overgiving and Start Receiving: The Secrets of Feminine Magnetism. And we're going to talk all about this and what to do, okay? Number 5, you chase validation through doing. You tie your worth to productivity and overcompensate by giving more. You do this at work, in relationships, or with friends, hoping to feel valued or loved. Let's go back to the title for number 5. You chase validation through doing. One of my favorite dance teachers and mentors told me that validation is for parking only. Validation is not something that we seek from other people. I've seen this so often. I've been in this place at one point in my life, and I'm going to share more about kind of my personal story in Wednesday's masterclass. So make sure you're registered for class. But the key here is that you are overcompensating by giving more. Instead of learning how to pull back your energy and trusting that you are enough, that your presence is enough, that your reciprocity is enough, you overcompensate by doing more. And when you do this, ladies, it's no wonder that you end up feeling resentful and unappreciated, because it's out of balance. You're overcompensating and you're tying your worth to how much you can do, instead of just knowing that intrinsically you are enough. And that's all I'm going to say. Number 6, you avoid asking for help. You pride yourself on being self-sufficient and fear being seen as weak or needy, even when you're overwhelmed. I just saw a TikTok the other day. I saved it and I wanted to respond to it because there was a young woman talking about how she was misled by feminism, because as she understood it, you know, you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to appear needy to your partner. So she made sure that she was independent, that she was able to do simple repairs on her own, take care of herself, not have to call and ask for every little thing, which I think is a good thing to do, but not to do it in a way to demonstrate in kind of a hard way, like I don't need you and we're equals. I don't think that's a good situation to get in, because as she described, being in that energy, thinking that she doesn't need help as a woman, she then had a child and realized, oh my goodness, I do need help. I need help from my husband and probably other people. And now that I've created this energy, or this default setting where everybody knows that I'm so hyper independent, now I feel like nobody is coming to help. And I don't know how to ask. So we don't want to become so independent that we forget how to ask for help, or that we think it's weak and it shows that we're not strong women. That is something that we really need to heal from in the collective, because I 100% support women being independent, being able to take care of themselves, having their own education, their own career, their own money. But you don't have to be so independent that you can't become interdependent. Especially in your romantic relationship. It's okay to take care of yourself and receive at the same time. It doesn't have to become a performance or a way to prove how independent you are. Okay? So we need to balance that. If you think that asking for help and receiving help is a weakness, that is a red flag within you. A lot of times we talk about red flags in men, we talk about red flags in women, and it's always looking at the other person. Everything that I'm doing, we're looking at you as a woman. All of my work is just for you. It's to help you become your most confident self so that we're not weighed down by these things anymore, because this is not helping us, okay? Number 7, you neglect your own needs. You put others' comfort and priorities above your own, often to the point of burnout, leaving you feeling depleted and disconnected from yourself. I see this a lot, and I would summarize this as you are unable to prioritize yourself. You feel guilty. You feel like you're not allowed to. And so you're thinking about everyone else besides yourself. If you have children, you're definitely focusing on your children, which you should as a woman and as a mother, but always leave some for yourself. Otherwise, you're going to turn into a dry, crispy plant. And if you don't have children, you're doing this for whoever you're dating. You're doing this for your friends. If they go through a breakup, you drop everything to go support them. And then you're doing something else to go support someone else the next day. If you can't actually do anything physically, you're like running in your mind, trying to think about other people's problems and how to solve them, instead of just focusing on yourself, slowing down, and giving yourself the self-care that you need. So what happens is you end up in a place of self-neglect. When we are in a place of self-neglect, we cannot attract. And finishing off with number 8, you dismiss compliments and support. When someone offers kindness, admiration, or help, you brush it off because receiving feels uncomfortable or undeserved. So as you're hearing in these signs of being an overgiving, on the surface, what people see is we're giving and we're doing and we're volunteering and we're fixing and sometimes forcing and managing and trying to control. That's what happens on the surface. Underneath what's going on is that we don't value ourselves enough. We don't value ourselves enough. We're not prioritizing our needs, and we're not able to receive anything because we don't think we deserve it. We don't think we deserve help. We don't think we deserve support. We don't think we deserve compliments. So if you find yourself constantly rejecting, literally rejecting, how are you going to receive? I'm going to give you one example from my private coaching. If you give somebody a gift, imagine that you give somebody a gift and you have spent time and energy, put a lot of thought into getting this gift. So you thought about what would they like, what do they need, what would, put a smile on their face, and you go through the process of getting them this gift, wrapping it up and presenting it to them, and they react with, oh, no, you shouldn't have. Oh, no, I can't accept it. It's gonna feel like a balloon that just deflated for you as the giver, right? You have put your love and your intention into this gift, and the other person is literally putting their hands up saying, oh, I can't, I don't think I can accept this. Oh, you shouldn't have, I'm not worth it, right? As the giver, you are not able to experience the joy of giving that gift to somebody else. And because you see how uncomfortable it makes them, No matter how much compassion you might have for them, no matter how much you might understand their circumstance, what they're going through, where they are emotionally, as humans, we're not going to continue doing things that make other people uncomfortable. So whoever the giver is, when they sense that discomfort in whoever's supposed to be receiving, they're going to start to pull back. So if you literally have your walls up and you're rejecting, that's why I put my hands up and I kind of look down, because that's what happens when people have a sense of low self-worth and they don't feel deserving. They kind of push things away and they reject it. We reject it with our words. We reject it with our energy. We reject it with our body language. Okay? So whomever is the giver, they're going to take that signal and they're going to act on it because they don't want to make you uncomfortable. So they're going to stop giving. And again, this is something that I walk my clients through one-on-one or in the Goddess Blueprint, which is a small group. And I'm very direct with the examples that I use so that we can really have it like click in our brain and have those aha moments of, oh my gosh, I get it now, right? So that's just a little preview that I wanted to share with you. And if you are in this overgiving energy, I have good news for you. You might feel really crummy right now, but you can shift your energy at any time. All of these things are changeable. It's really up to you. Okay, so if you don't want to be in this rejecting energy, you're tired of it, you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling burnt out, you're feeling resentful, you're feeling everything besides attractive and magnetic, which is what you want to feel, then make sure you're signed up for Wednesday's free masterclass. And please consider joining the Goddess Blueprint in February. And I hope that you like this video. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. So tight. Is this the look? Do I want it? Do I want it all the way? I just feel so like newscaster, but like not in a cool way, like in a uncool way. Let's start over.